What's up, motherfuckers, and welcome back to Big Pete's Metal Show. I know it's been a minute. That's because I got a new job and other shit going on, but I got some free time and felt compelled to make a video today. Also, apologies, I'm kind of sick currently, and I sound like I have a load of fucking semen in my throat. But if you've read the title, which I'm sure you have, this video is about nuclear fucking assault. And recently, they decided to break up a fourth time, I believe. So I felt like, it's time to talk about nuclear assault, do a ranking video of them, which they only have 6 full-length albums, a couple of other things too, but it's going to be a short ranking list. So we're going to talk about some other shit too, about nuclear assault.
Ranking some nuclear assault albums. It's pretty good timing considering everything that happened today.
Indeed. Would you like to oblige? What happened today, Troy?
Well, unfortunately, they decided to break up for good, and in the process, they deleted their Facebook.
Indeed.
So there's no way of really retrieving that information unless you already have it, or you're a tabloid and thankfully saved it.
Or you're a huge nuclear fucking assault cuck nerd like myself.
Oh.
I have the original Handle with Care cassette fucking pressing. I also have it on vinyl. And of course we have all the CDs, which we'll be using to rank them with. Now, before we actually get into the ranking, I want to talk a little bit about nuclear assault. And they were one of the first few thrash bands outside of the big four that I really got into. It was like them and Overkill and Testament, Exodus and shit. And they're from New York, and so are we. And they always kind of felt like some home state fucking heroes of fucking metal to me. And especially because Dan Loker lives in the same city as I do, and he used to work at the Record Archive, which is a big, huge fucking record store around here. It's where I got hooked up with most of my shit. That's where I got him to sign fucking half of my nuclear assault shit, and it's so cool. And we actually got the chance to see them play a little venue called Photo City. And that was, you remember that show, don't you?
That show was nuts.
When they first came, tell them what happened when the first song.
Oh, first song within the first minute and a half, not even. Some dude ran from backstage, did a front flip right in my face as I just took a sip off of fresh beer. That beer ended up all over the floor. I ended up pissed. That guy ran off like nothing fucking happened. And then it proceeded to get even more rowdy as more drunk people tried to do the same fucking shit. And it just went all the way off the rails. Now,
to pause the video for a second, I have a couple clips of that from the front row of literally that dude. And it's debauchery central. We're gonna play those now. So yeah, at that show, it was completely fucking bonkers. And I got to John Connolly, he stood up front, and he was like, I don't feel like singing tonight, so if anyone wants to grab the mic or come up here and sing the songs, go ahead. And naturally, of course, me being right in the front row, I fucking did. I sang a couple of the choruses to the songs. It was so cool. And at the end of the show, you usually get a pick or a drumstick or something. I fucking got this, dude. It was John's fucking lyric cheat sheet. He was reading because, dude, he was
reading that thing the whole night.
They haven't fucking toured or practiced or played a lot, and fucking, it was so funny because he had a whole cheat sheet for his fucking lyrics. It's pretty funny, and he was like at the end of the show, he's like, here here, take that. I'm like, what the fuck?
What's even crazier?
And I keep it right here on my fucking display.
What's even crazier is that really, really drunk dude who tried to get up on stage earlier in the night and tried to stage dive, and it went horribly wrong, and literally everybody moved out of the way to not catch him. He offered it to that guy first, who just kind of looked at him and turned around and walked away.
Yeah,
that dude
yeah,
he seemed to be the most excited person out of the entire crowd, by action alone, for this band. Tried to get up on stage, had a good time, got it fucking... John to put his arm around him and everything.
He looked like he went to the bathroom and fucking smoked crack before the show.
He looked like he was smoking crack the entire show. Like he was just dipping out to the fucking parking lot or something.
And then this dude's just like, nah. So I'm like,
he literally
give me
turned,
that
passed
shit.
it up, and Peter couldn't even resist.
Fuck no. It was so cool. But Nuclear Assault has, as we said, they've, for the fourth time now, since the mid-90s, have declared that they are through and done with.
Unfortunately.
And is unfortunate, but you think about it, they had an EP of a couple fucking songs come out in 2015, but since then they haven't had a full studio album since 2006. This would be the EP in question. It says it was recorded in Rochester, New York, which is really fucking cool. But, yeah. So, anyway, I guess we get into the ranking now. This is their sixth and final full-length album, Third World Genocide. I'm ranking this at number 6, the bottom of the list, just because, I mean, like, these guys...
It's not a bad album, but it's also, like, something has to fill the slot.
I would give it, like, a 5 out of 10. Just kind of like, you know. It's cool because it's like Nuclear Assault making new music in fucking the mid-2000s, but it's nowhere near their glory days of fucking shit, which we're about to jump right into with number 5, Nuclear Assault, Out of Order. This is their fourth album. The last one with Dan Lilker before he shortly left the band thereafter and, you know, returned in the late 90s or whatever. This album is really good. A lot of underrated fucking songs. They're not really remembered too much for this album. There's a pretty groovy cover of Ballroom Blitz on it. And that's pretty much all, like, the standout for this one. They also did a thing where at the last of the album, different band members took lead vocals on some of the songs, which is it's a rare thing I see sometimes. Death Angel did it, I believe, on one of their albums. But interesting. Well, good. It's good shit. I would give this like a 6.5 or a 6 out of 10.
Fair.
Now we get into 1993's Something Wicked. This is their fifth album, and it was the only album they recorded without bassist Dan Lilker, Mr. Hometown Hero of ours.
Oh, yeah.
And this album was, the songwriting and I feel like it's just a notch above Out of Order. There's a lot more memorable shit on this album, especially like the title track. It's a bunch of decent shit, and I would give this album like a 7.5 or an 8 in that range. Now, to get into the real fucking trifecta of unholy debauchery, this is
where it gets crazy.
This is where it gets fucking good. This is Survive from 1988, their second album. This fucking album it's 12 tracks, a half hour, complete fucking ripper. Absolute fucking, like, late 80s banger of fucking thrash metal. It's really fucking good. And, word has it, the Record Archive has a copy of this for $100, original pressing on vinyl, which I will be snagging and regretting for like 2 minutes and then just taking the L and moving on with life. So yeah, I rate this number 3. Fantastic fucking album. I'd give it 8.5 out of 10. Now, number 2. These two, for me, are almost tied. Like, these next 2 albums, I'll just say it right now, I would rank them, it depends on my mood, but I would give them either 9, 9.5, or 10 out of 10. This is their first album coming in at number 2, Game Over. This album is just fucking full. Like, not 1 second wasted of just good, classic fucking crushing thrash, fucking just awesome shit. This is like a need to have for any fucking like 80s fucking fan of music or people with ears needs to listen to this. This is fucking great. And number 1, with no surprise, really.
No brainer at all.
Everything that I just said prior applies to this, and then with a little bit more fucking jacking off, Handle with Care. 1989, fucking 3rd album. This was Nuclear Assault's Master of Puppets, in a sense, because this is everything about this album is so fucking good. This is, I would give it like a 9.5 or a 10 out of 10. And if you can see, Dan Looker signed it too. Oh, but yeah, that was our ranking of Nuclear Assault. Let us know what you think, or don't, because I don't fucking care. Nothing that you say in the comment section below will make me think differently of Nuclear Assault. Do you have any closing words of wisdom, Sir Troy?
If you guys aren't already listening to Nuclear Assault, take your time and listen to it all. The music is worth it. Even the bottom bin, well, not really even bottom bin, the bottom of what we would call the bin because of the actual limitations, it's still 100% worth your ears listening. They're fantastic. Dan's one of the better bass players that I've ever heard. Incredible stage man, and a very awesome guy in general. Like, he's a really down-to-earth, really cool fucking person. Everybody from the band has been, like, awesome in concert in the time that we did see them. They were very fucking cool with everyone there. They were constantly trying to keep everybody's energy up.
Which they did.
Very
they definitely
much.
Did.
Little too heavy sometimes. Like, that mosh pit was getting a little nuts. Like, if you were standing right up against the stage, you were guaranteed going to get smashed torso first into it.
I was taking fucking beatings left and right. It was crazy. People, now if you know Photo City, it's like a smaller like club type of fucking place. People were fucking crowd surfing there. People were crowd surfing in Photo City. It's like this small place too. It was insane. Dude.
Like, you've probably got about like 50 feet by like maybe 40 feet worth of space to actually do anything.
There's no railing between the stage and the floor. Like, you could just run up on stage, which people were fucking doing.
Oh yeah, they were.
Yeah, it was nuts. It was a great time. Dan Loker, if you ever run into him in public, don't be afraid to fucking say anything. He's a really nice, cool guy.
And also, Dan, if somehow you ever manage to find this video on the internet, we fucking love you.
Absolutely.
And we hope sometime that we can see you again in something.
Whatever you do.
Nuclear Assault tribute show. Fucking
SOD.
Stormtroopers of Death.
And you get a cover band together just playing the first Anthrax record.
Literally.
Brutal Truth.
We would even like to hear what the hell Anthrax would have sounded like if you just stayed on the band. Play some of their music that they didn't have you involved in.
Dude, yeah.
Do it right. Well, not right, rather.
Dan Loker, just get in a room and just finger fuck the bass, and I'll listen to it. Like
shit, we'd pay for that.
Yeah, I'd pay for it. A solid 20, maybe.
Absolutely 20. I'd pay more than that.
I've been killing my wallet with albums and records.
You have no idea.
Anyway, we're rambling. That's the end of the video. Die.